This year's Super Bowl was marred by yet another controversial call. But how does that holding call stack up against the worst calls in the playoffs since 2000? At number 4, we have the Dez no catch in the 2014 divisional round. Down 5 with less than 5 minutes to go, Romo took a deep shot to Dez on 4th and 2. The pass was initially ruled complete, but was overturned via Mike McCarthy challenge moments later. The officials ruled that Dez did not maintain possession throughout the process of going to the ground, and the Packers would go on to win the game. Just 3 years later, the NFL would alter the rules to make sure that this kind of play would result in a catch moving forward. At number 3, we have the infamous holding call from this year's Super Bowl. Despite James Bradbury admitting to what he thought was a hold on this play, it was far too big of a moment to decide the game over a little bit of hand fighting, especially when they hadn't been making calls like this all night. At number 2, we have the most famous no call of all time in the 2018 NFC Championship game between the Saints and Rams. In a tied game with less than 2 minutes to go, Drew Brees targeted Tommy Lee Lewis on a 3rd and 10 pass. Lewis got blown up by Nickel Roby-Coleman, but the rest perplexingly swallowed their whistles, forcing the Saints to settle for a go-ahead field goal, leaving the door open for the Rams, who would go on to tie it in regulation and win in overtime. This no call was so bad that the NFL actually instituted an instant replay review system that was ultimately scrapped after just 1 year in 2019. And at number 1, we have the tuck rule in the 2001 divisional round between the Patriots and Raiders. With under 2 minutes left, Tom Brady was leading his team down the field as the Pats trailed by 3. Charles Woodson got to Brady in the backfield, forcing a fumble and a subsequent recovery by the Raiders in what seemed to be the dagger in this game. But after review, the officials concluded that the play should be ruled as an incomplete pass, based off of a relatively new rule called the tuck rule. The rule would actually be abolished by the league in a 29-1 vote just 11 years later. And Tom Brady has even said this much about it.
Tuck rule game against the Raiders. Might have been a fumble.
So what calls do you think we missed?